Virginia quarterback David Watford has waited 2 years for the chance to start. Now he hopes to make the most of his opportunity. BYU's all-everything linebacker Kyle Van Noy told the NFL it can wait. He hopes to once again spearhead a Cougar defense that was dominant a year ago. The wait is over. A season of hope has arrived. Welcome to the All-State Game of the Week, all a part of the ACC on ESPN. We're at Scott Stadium in Charlottesville, Virginia. The hopefuls making their way in on the first Saturday of the college football season, BYU and UVA. And with that, we say hello on a steamy, still summer afternoon here in Charlottesville alongside former Colorado State quarterback Kelly Stauffer. I'm Anish Shroff. Hope is waiting on the horizon for Mike London and Virginia. Great recruiting class in place for next season. Nice new facility. Fans are waiting for wins in 2013. How do they bounce back from a 4-8 season?
Yeah, where are the wins? And I think it started in the offseason. Mike London made massive changes, brought in a ton of experience on the coaching side. But the question remains, does Virginia have the quarterback that can take them to where they want to go? And David Watford finally, after waiting a couple of years, gets his opportunity. A dual threat guy in more of a pro-style offense. We'll see how he shows up today.
BYU, meanwhile, is playing its most ambitious schedule in school history. The hope there is that they can be a national power and handle the schedule.
Okay, there's two sides of the ball, right? Defensively, we know what BYU brings to the table, and you start with the epicenter of what they do, which is Kyle Van Noy, an ultimate disruptor in the game of football, and he believes that the football is his, even though he's a defensive guy. Up-tempo offense now in Provo. Taysom Hill has to get it done, a dual threat guy, volume of plays. How does this young man execute today?
The head coach for BYU, Bronco Mendenhall, in his 9th season. He has the highest winning percentage of any Cougar head coach, and he signed an extension in the offseason that takes him through 2016. On the sidelines for the Virginia Cavaliers, Mike London. In his 4th season at UVA, 16-21 with the Cavaliers, the 2011 ACC Coach of the Year. Week 1, they're ready, they're fired up. Justin Sorensen will kick it off for BYU. And the highly touted freshman Taquan Mizell, along with Kalik Shepard, back deep for Virginia. Number 4 in orange is a guy that UVA coaches and fans have some high hopes for.
And Anish, the interesting thing is they have him back on kick returns to start the season. They want him on punt returns sooner than later.
Mizell's first touch is a Virginia Cavalier. They call him Smoke, and he gets across the 25 to the 26-yard line. And David Watford, the redshirt sophomore quarterback out of Hampton, getting ready to make his first career start for UVA. Redshirted last season after playing as a true freshman in 2011.
Yeah, and what you're going to see, Anish, out of Watford is a dual threat guy, which is going to be interesting because remember, new offensive coordinator Steve Fairchild's all about a ground and pound type of play action scheme. This young man, Fairchild says, is the best athlete as a quarterback that he's ever coached.
On first down, Virginia to the ground, it's Kevin Parks, and he picks up 2. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8. Wani Unga on the stop. New offensive coordinator, as you mentioned, for Virginia. Different terms, different jargon. Same philosophy, though, that they've had on offense the last few years.
Yeah, they want to establish not just the run, but a physical, set the tone type of run here today.
Out of the eye this time, it's a toss to Parks. Parks across the 30, strong run, and he's close to the first down marker, tackled by the senior Spencer Hadley. Steve Fairchild told us Virginia is not going into the season with a feature back. We're going to see Kevin Parks. We'll see Mizell. We'll see Kalik Shepard. But he said, hey, if one of those guys wants to be the guy, I have no problem with that.
It was interesting the way he put that, but you're right. All of them have a slightly different skill set, so a package of plays, and they're going to go with the horse that gets hot.
3rd and short. Parks running strong side. And he appears to have the first down. 3rd down conversion for UVA on its opening drive, and a new set of downs for the Wahoos.
And we've already seen that Parks has a couple of carries, and his strength is a low center of gravity, toughness, as you can see that they converted and extend this drive. But the low center of gravity, he's very good inside the tackles. But that's also where BYU's defense is very, very good. They don't give up a lot in the run game.
Taquan Mizell into the game for the first time on offense for Virginia. He's in the backfield alongside Watford. And here is Mizell. Nice little shake and bake, and Mizell gets a couple. Tackled again by Unga, his 3rd tackle of the game. Mizell, the prize of Mike London's 2013 recruiting class, the number 9 running back in his class, according to ESPN. He says he sees himself a little like Duke Johnson. Boy, if Virginia got 75% of that, I think fans would be happy.
Yeah, that would be a great freshman year. But let's just start calling him Smoke right now,
Smoke?
shall we? Smoke it is from this point forward.
He doesn't have to earn smoke?
No, not yet.
4 plays, 4 runs for Virginia. First passing attempt of the game. Watford slings it near side, incomplete. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Smith, the intended receiver.
In our impact matchup, we see Kyle Van Noy, the linebacker, who they move all around, and it's going to be Morgan Moses and also Whitmire, the tackles. They have to set the edge, or Van Noy is going to have another monster day.
We saw Virginia go to the air for the first time there. BYU extremely thin and banged up at the cornerback position. That could be an area where Virginia's offense can exploit the BYU D. Watford over the middle, incomplete, and nearly intercepted by Daniel Sorensen.
You know, Anish, we've talked about we don't really know what we're going to get out of Virginia offensively, but watch Kyle Van Noy coming off the top, and Morgan Moses a little late pressure because he has a high motor and he simply never stops. But 2 straight passes to Tim Smith, number 20, that should have been caught. Steve Fairchild's looking for a go-to guy offensively in that receiving core. That was 2 great opportunities for Virginia.
Alec Vozinelic on to punt it away for Virginia. Back deep to receive for BYU, J.D. Falslev. He's the FBS's active leader in career punt returns and punt return yardage. Falslev from the 24. And he gets across the 30, and that's where BYU will begin. We'll get a look at the Cougars' new up-tempo offense and their quarterback, Taysom Hill, when we come back. The mantra of the BYU offense is go fast, go hard. Robert and I, the offensive coordinator, now in his 2nd tour of duty with the Cougars. It's up-tempo. Ideally, he wants to get a playoff every 12 to 15 seconds. And we're going to get a look at this new up-tempo, fast-paced BYU offense led by quarterback Taysom Hill as the Cougars get ready to take the field for their first offensive possession of 2013. And the quarterback is number 4, Taysom Hill, a sophomore from Pocatello, Idaho. Tore his ACL last year, played in 6 games, started 2. On first down, here's Jamal Williams, met at the line of scrimmage by Daquan Romero.
Taysom Hill is a really, really good dual threat guy as they're already getting to the line of scrimmage, but his mobility right now is considerably ahead of his ability to throw the football. Look for that this afternoon.
Out of the pistol here, play action. Hill pump fakes under pressure, has got to get rid of it, and it's incomplete. And we talked about the up-tempo offense for BYU. There we see the pressure defense of Virginia's defensive coordinator, John Tenuta. Hill on third down finds Williams across midfield. And a first down for BYU, a gain of 12 by Jamal Williams, the sophomore from Fontana, California.
And the pace in which BYU is going, we'll see how well they execute and how long they can keep this up.
Going quickly again. Williams trying to get around the right side, and he's dragged down by Maurice Kennedy. Cody Hoffman had 100 receptions for BYU a season ago. He's on the sideline. We were told about an hour before the game that he tweaked his hammy, but the thought was he would still play. Not on the field so far, as Kelly mentioned. Williams again out of the backfield, across the 40, a first down, and finally tripped up by Demetrius Nicholson, but there is a flag at the 40-yard line.
There is no foul on the play for targeting. The action in question has been deemed legal. First down.
We're going to hear a lot about the targeting issue, and that's what they were talking about. The play right there to the running back, and Williams catches the ball. Ridley blocked up inside.
Cougars again working quickly. Ross Appo down the sideline. And that's a solid pickup again on first down. 14 BYU moving the chains in this up-tempo offense, firing on all cylinders early.
And as Robert and I likes to do, is using their running backs in the pass game.
There's the All-American rugby player, Paul Lasike, and he's tackled by Eli Harold for a loss of 2. It'll bring up third down.
That's the quarterback zone read part of the game. You can see Eli Harold jumps down inside. That should have been a pole read, and Taysom Hill should have got around the corner.
Hill rolling to his left. On the run. Throws incomplete. Fourth down. Strong hold there by the Virginia defense.
And with John Tenuta, it's all about just how do we make a play to get off the field, and you saw it right there. Eli Harold did a nice job on that zone run, and then Taysom Hill's actually staying out here on fourth down.
Hill, he will kick it. And it bounces into the end zone, so Virginia will start at its own 20. 35-yard punt. Scoreless with 10:09 to go here in the first quarter. Virginia ball when we come back.
Oski on that play.
Parks on first down, pushes across the 20 to the 22-yard line, a gain of 4. Yeah, remember, a lot of the players come to BYU. They may play or redshirt their first season, then go on a 2-year mission. Brigham Young, owned and operated by the Church of Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints. So that's a big part of what they do. And Bronco Mendenhall told us, you know, some coaches have a 3-4 year recruiting window. He's got a 7-year spreadsheet laid out for guys coming and leaving his program. Play action on second down. Watford turns the corner, and he's out of bounds at the 20, a loss of 2. So 3rd and 8 coming up for UVA.
You saw number 90, Brandon Kafusi, was chasing Watford from his defensive end position. 6'7", 282 pounds. They're hoping that he filled some of the void that was left by Ezekiel Ziggy Ansah, high round draft pick that really came on after Manny Maliuna was hurt early in the year, and all of a sudden a star was born, and Ansah goes on to make a lot of money in the NFL. But Kafusi has to be that guy on defense now.
Cavaliers just 1 of 4 on third downs. Watford dumps it off, and his pass batted down by the long reach of Kafusi. You mentioned that 6'7" reach. He plays forward for the BYU basketball team as well.
Oh, yeah, he's a power forward, a rebounder, obviously a power forward. 6'7" in the long wingspan, only a 3-man rush. But if you can get this result, get some penetration and block the shot. I mean, that's Shaq all over again right there.
Say Jimmer Fredette. Jimmer played guard, though, at BYU.
Yeah, exactly. Jimmer never blocked a shot.
He shot threes, and well. Now a chance for BYU to win the field position game. Bozanilik Punch it away. Good kick. Falslev across the 35. And gets down to the 44-yard line. Nice return by J.D. Falslev. 11-yard return on a 46-yard punt. You know, Kelly, John Tenuta, Virginia's defensive coordinator, preached so much about his attack defense. And we should clarify, it's not all blitzing. Sometimes it's disguising the pressure. How have they done that so far? As Hill slings one out of the hands of Thornton, 2nd and 10.
What they typically do, it isn't bringing just 8 all the time, that type of thing. Typically what they do is they disguise it, and they like to bring at least a 5th. They're down 4 plus 1, and they hope that that 1 really exposes the blocking scheme by the offense.
First carry of the game for Michael Olisa. He was BYU's leading rusher last year and then broke his arm against Hawaii. And there is John Tenuta, the defensive coordinator for Virginia. He's got to like what he sees in this first quarter.
His mantra is the ball is ours, find a way to go get it. So far, so good if you're Virginia's defense.
BYU on the final play of the first quarter. Hill, nice run, diving for that first down marker. He picks up 10, and he's got it. One quarter in the books here in Charlottesville. We're scoreless.
This is the end of the first quarter.
BYU and Virginia set to resume after a 2-hour, 9-minute weather delay. 6:20 is the official start time given to us. Anish Shroff, Kelly Stauffer. Welcome back. We played one quarter, scoreless, then a weather delay. 2 hours, 9 minutes later, we're about to get the second quarter started. The theme for us at the top of our broadcast, wait and hope. We meant it metaphorically, the wait for David Watford to be the starting quarterback, the hope that BYU, by playing a national schedule, can become a national power. Wait and hope. All too literal with Mother Nature getting in the way. We're ready for football. The start of the second quarter. BYU with the ball. It's Jamal Williams, and he's across the 45 to the 44-yard line. A gain of 1. The crowd that has returned with a cheer. They're happy to see football again, as are we. Williams again, and he's met by Harold again. But the ball's on the far side of the field. Everybody was fooled. I was fooled. Michael Olisa gets to the 10. Looked like it.
That was the modern triple option. You fake it inside,
yeah.
Taysom Hill gets outside. He can run it. If he gets pressure, he still throws the screen as he did right there.
I bought it. Harold took Williams to the ground. This is Williams running to the outside, and he's pushed out of bounds by Henry Coley. 2nd down and goal coming up.
The level of execution here in this second quarter has been better by BYU. I think mainly Taysom Hill has seen things more clearly, making quicker, more decisive decisions in the run game.
This time it's Williams right up the middle. Now he breaks free, turns to the outside, and gets to about the 4-yard line. Kennedy in on the stop. It'll bring up 3rd down. Go fast, go hard is the motto instituted by new offensive coordinator Robert and I. He was actually BYU's old offensive coordinator, left before the 2010 season. 3rd and goal. Taysom Hill throwing, end zone, touchdown, Falslev.
Very well executed. Man-to-man coverage deep in the red zone, and Falslev just breaks outside. Brett Thompson is the outside receiver coming inside. Tried to form somewhat of a natural rub or a pick. Very well thrown once again by Taysom Hill. Very well executed overall as a route by BYU.
Point after by Sorensen is good. First score of the game, J.D. Falslev.
I think Taysom Hill finally found his sea legs. The triple option throws it outside to Falslev, and why not let him pay it off? Nice catch, nice throw, touchdown, BYU.
This game started at 3:30. It is 6:48 Eastern. We now have our first score of the game. A touchdown catch by J.D. Falslev. Here's Khalid Shepard to return the kick for Virginia. He's out across the 20 And tackled just shy of the 25-yard line. Virginia, prior to that kick return in the second quarter, its average starting field position about its own 9-yard line. BYU, on the other hand, the Virginia 41. Watford's throw too low, intended for Smith. 2nd and 10. Also, we want to mention, because of the 2-hour, 9-minute weather delay, halftime will be condensed to about 10 minutes. I think they've had plenty of time to talk over strategy in that 2-hour plus period while play was stopped between the first and second quarter.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think these players want to play, and we saw that skip pass by Watford, that last play. That's where he has to advance. When it's just a drop back situation, how fundamentally sound are you?
Watford gets away from Van Noy, throws on the run, and that's dropped by Jennings. 3rd down and 10. His receivers have not helped him out today.
Oh, not at all. That's the 3rd drop ball, and you see what Watford brings to the table. The avoidance right there of Van Noy. Not easy to avoid. Get outside, great throw on the shoulder on the sideline, and Jennings just has to come down with that ball, and that's what you see. You see him. Virginia's running the ball fairly effectively right now. Their passing game has just put the ball on the ground.
To the air again on 3rd down. BYU with a 3-man rush over the middle. Jennings catches this one in traffic. So maybe he just needed a greater degree of difficulty.
I think you're exactly right, but what a throw. I mean, he had to thread it, and Blake Morgan was the free safety looking in at the quarterback, breaking on that football. You know you're going to get blown up. You might as well hang on to it.
Jennings again. 3 straight times Watford has gone in his direction. 2nd and 10.
The type of plays that Virginia has to make in the passing game, the deep in cut by Jennings right there.
Ooh.
Degree of difficulty is extremely high. Free safety Blake Morgan is looking right in at it, breaking on the football, but Jennings look it in and come down to the ground with it. Great catch.
Final 30 seconds of the first half. Virginia 2 timeouts, 2nd and 5. Watford gets rid of it. Underneath, he finds his tight end. That's Swanson, and that's a UVA 1st down. Clock momentarily stopped, 22 seconds to go.
In this 2-minute situation, Watford actually seems like he's in much better rhythm in the passing game as well.
Safety blitz picked up by Virginia. Complete again to Swanson, and he's down close to the 35-yard line. A gain of 11.
What a great target, too, at 6'6", 255. Outside receiver clears. We have a timeout right now by Virginia.
Timeout, Virginia. 10 seconds to go. Ian Fry is the team's kicker. Mike London told us he can make it from about 45 to 47 yards. That's kind of the extent of his range. His career long, though, is only 30.
They usually place the spot at about 7 yards deep, so you're looking at the 30-yard line in, and he should be pretty good.
He should have a shot. Yeah, right now it's about a 53-yarder. Virginia still has a timeout. Middle of the field in play. Low snap. Watford throws over the middle, incomplete. They wanted Jake McGee. We expected McGee to be a big factor in the receiving game. It's really been Swanson, the tight end, who's gotten the call so far. McGee has really been a non-factor in this game.
Yeah, McGee is a very good receiver. He showed that last year. The thing with McGee is he got nicked up late in camp, and I think that's exactly what you see. He just doesn't seem to be himself, but that ball actually needed to be thrown more over the middle of the field to his big tight end.
They're going to bring on Fry. This is a 53-yard field goal. It would be his career long by 23 yards. Fry gets his leg into it, and he gets it.
That just sounded good. He hammered that ball. Sometimes you know when you stroke it, and bam, right there, he caught it flush, and it was dead center as well. That could have been another probably 5 or 8 yards. Great kick.
Ian Fry gets Virginia on the board. We've got a baseball score at the half. BYU 7, Virginia 3. Matt Schick is back after the break with the halftime report. We'll be back with the second half. Remember, it's a condensed 10-minute halftime. About ready for the start of the second half here in Charlottesville. Low-scoring game. BYU leading Virginia 7-3. The Cougars will receive to start the second half. That's Adam Hine on the kickoff return. And Hine moves the pile across the 25-yard line to the 30. First quarter, no scoring, and then both teams started to find their groove. Kelly Stauffer in the second.
Taysom Hill on the throw right there, the triple option to Falslev, and then Falslev pays it off. Well thrown ball as Falslev goes outside, and that was basically it for BYU. David Watford made a nice throw in the second quarter. A couple of them actually, they got Jennings going. Number 6 right there, a couple of different times. The throw down the middle led to the long field goal attempt, and rocket shot by the field goal kicker.
Speaking of a rocket shot, Henry Coley laying into Taysom Hill. Hill still picked up 5, 2nd and 5. BYU goes so quickly. They're not, as we like to say, a replay-friendly offense. That's the sophomore Williams, and he's to the 39-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down.
You know, so what does Johnson Nuda on the other side have to do is he has to also keep it fairly simple, but yet he doesn't want to be stuck in the same defense every snap either.
Coley blitzing from straight up the middle. Hill rolls to his right. He wants Falslev, and it's incomplete. 4th down.
Taysom Hill knows that that was just simply a bad throw. Falslev had the first down yardage outside, and it was just low and away.
And in the last few minutes here, the rain has really started to come down at Scott Stadium. So now you got to deal with a slick ball. And it was raining during that weather delay as well, so that the field's got to be a little slick as well.
Yeah, what was a defensive game and a defensive matchup is even more so in this downpour right now.
Scott Arlano bobbles the punt. It's blocked. Virginia football at the 15-yard line. Anthony Harris came up with the block kick.
They were loaded up on the right side, but then Harris comes off the left side. He's a tremendous strong safety, but right here, see the ball extend, take it off the punter's foot. Textbook blocked right there. We're talking about special teams, maybe flipping the field and stemming the tide. Right there's a big one.
When Larry Lewis took over as the special teams coach, Mike London told him, hey, I'm not going to limit your resources in terms of players. You want a guy who's a starter on offense or defense to play on special teams? Go ahead and pick him. Anthony Harris is the starting safety. He's the one who made that block.
I think he's a next level safety. I think he's playing on Sundays in a couple of years.
After a block punt, Virginia has it at the BYU 16-yard line. Here's Kevin Parks trying to turn the corner, gets by Rob Daniel, and then gets out of bounds.
What Virginia did is they overloaded 5 on 1, 2, 3 blockers on that side, and what you hope is that Anthony Harris comes free because the back shield doesn't sort it out, and that's exactly what happened. Not a mitt laid on number 8 right there. Big play by a big-time defensive starter on the other side.
There's Scott Arlano, the punter for BYU. Remember, he's replacing an All-American in Riley Stevenson, who graduated. Trips right on 2nd down. Watford rolls left. Now tries to cut it back over the middle, and Van Noy with a nice ankle tackle. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4.
Watford would have been better served to just stay up inside, or in this case outside, where the softness was. He had 2 linemen pulling in front of him. You don't cut back when you have 2 big horses out in front.
The left side of that Virginia line is the strength of that line. That left tackle, Morgan Moses, looked at as a high draft pick potentially. Watford scrambling On the run, throws in the end zone. Touchdown, Virginia. Darius Jennings gives the Cavaliers their first lead of the game.
That's what Watford brings to the table, as he gets outside when nothing was there down the field. And that is a good catch. I think Jennings drug actually both feet. But the mobile quarterback get outside, and then the receiver worked to the back corner of the end zone. Very good throw off the mobility of Watford. Very good catch by Jennings.
We're talking to Steve Fairchild yesterday. You know, we asked him, who's Watford's go-to receiver? And he said it concerned him a little that his quarterback really hadn't found one in the spring and in fall. But Darius Jennings might be emerging as that guy. Watford's been looking in his direction quite a bit. Here he finds it for 6.
Definitely been comfortable. This is how you find a go-to guy. He makes a play like that for you. I'll come there again.
We've had all sorts of weather still raining down on the field. Adam Hine on the return for BYU. Gets across the 30. Alongside Kelly Stauffer and Ishraff, third quarter, 12:21 to go. First Saturday of the college football season, and the intensity in this game has picked up since, about that 8-9 minute mark in the second quarter.
Yeah, BYU really hasn't demonstrated that they can drive the football. They've inherited the ball in really good field position. The average starting position is the 35-yard line. That's good in a football game.
Here's Williams, breaks away from one tackle and then finally wrestled down by Harris, who had the block punt, which set up Virginia's go-ahead score.
Can we go fast enough?
On 1st and long, that pass incomplete again. The pressure, Eli Harold coming after Hill. Brent Urban deflected the ball. Let's not forget, Taysom Hill also doesn't have Cody Hoffman, one of the best receivers in the nation a year ago, not playing with a hamstring injury. On 2nd and long, on the ground, Jamal Williams. And he gets a nice old bear hug from that Virginia defensive line and Jake Snyder. And there's Cody Hoffman. He just can watch, that's all.
And he's the go-to guy. I mean, prototypical-wise, 6'4", 210 pounds, and just makes a boatload of plays when you need him.
Hill on the run, and it's incomplete. Good coverage that time by Demetrius Nicholson, the junior corner. 4th down.
We talk about defense, offense, it's so complicated, but at the end of the day, the defense just has to find a way to get off the field, and Virginia has done it incredibly successfully here today. Actually, both defenses have been pretty sound.
Here's Terrell, and nearly wrapped up immediately, shakes one tackle. He's got a little bit of room on the right side. Dominique Terrell across the 40 and out of bounds as he gets into BYU territory. Special teams coming up big for Virginia.
And so many times returning a punt is about making it happen yourself to begin with, and then you can pick up a wall. And Dominique Terrell does such a nice job. This should have gone nowhere, but now you have hope as you get to the wall. Great effort by Terrell.
With Kelly Stauffer and Ishraff, Virginia trailed 7-0. They got on the board late in the first half to end the first half on a 53-yard field goal. Dominique Terrell moments ago, a big punt return, setting up Virginia on this drive, and really this game is turned for the Wahoos on special teams.
And that's exactly why Larry Lewis is here, a new special teams coordinator, running back coach, and he was at Nevada. And Mike London just said, we need to have a couple of plays go in our favor in special teams, and that's exactly what we've seen turn the tide of this game here this evening.
Here's from the Nevada playbook, the pistol. Parks tripped up, and he gets maybe a yard right back to the line of scrimmage. Spencer Hadley's helmet came off, so he'll have to leave the field for a play.
Virginia, when it comes down to how they extend drives, though, they have to get back to number 6, Jennings, in the pass game.
Again, that Nevada pistol look. Tim Smith in motion. Watford comes to Smith, way too high, 3rd down.
That play was just not in sync. I think the ball was snapped earlier than it was supposed to be. The receivers weren't ready to get down the field, and Watford didn't even know he was going to get the football there.
All right, 3rd and 10. Slick field. It seems it's been a defensive struggle. How do you play it if you're Mike London?
I think on a slick field, I think throwing the ball is advantage offense. I know where I'm going. You don't know where I'm going. I think it's advantage pass game.
BYU brings some heat. Watford over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was going for Swanson. So a 4th down coming up for Virginia. Now a chance to swing the field position game. BYU would like a nice return by J.D. Falslev. Cougars could use a spark from special teams. High snap. Vozelenek gets it off. Fair catch signal. Now Falslev lets it bounce, and it's down by Virginia at the 13-yard line. Eli Harold again in on the stop.
Virginia's really outplaying BYU on the line of scrimmage in this matchup, and so you just can't have those yardages that you give away in the penalty area.
Hill rolling right. He's got to throw it out of bounds. 3rd down. You touched on this earlier, Kelly. That BYU offensive line, the elder statesman in terms of playing experience, the left tackle, Riker Matthews. He's a true sophomore, but he's the de facto anchor. A lot of inexperience on a unit that really gave up a lot of sacks and wasn't that great a season ago. High snap. Hill can't handle it. The ball is loose. If Virginia has it, they might have a touchdown.
I think Taysom Hill ended back up on that football.
The question is, where did he land? Did his knee go down before he crossed that goal line? Otherwise, it's a safety. Virginia signaling safety.
On the field is that the ball carrier was down by rule behind the goal line. It is a safety.
Yeah, that's a good call, and it looks like Taysom Hill ends up getting it back, but the snap wasn't exceptionally high, but it was exceptionally hard, and Taysom Hill couldn't come up with it. And then right at the very end, the ball is in the end zone. It's not where Taysom Hill recovered. It's where his body, it's not where his body was, it's where the ball is. Ball's in the end zone. That's a safety.
Well, give Hill a little credit for preventing a touchdown. He wrestled that away from David Dean, who's 6'1", 290. Hill's 6'2", 221, but Dean's a big old defensive tackle trying to get his mitts on.
But once again, we talked about the big plays in the special teams, and then this new offense, Taysom Hill running the show for the first time, and they just really haven't ever been consistently in sync. And then it's stuff like that, the high snap from the center, Terrence Aledo, and then Taysom Hill just could not come down with it.
Hill struggled in this game, 6 of 21, 70 yards. John Tenuta's pressure defense has something to do with that. One of her keys to the game was how Tenuta's attack defense would work against this go fast, go hard BYU offense. That has been a one-sided contest in itself.
No doubt about it. And actually, I think it's somewhat of a template for what defenses need to do against up-tempo offenses. Don't get thinned out. Attack the football.
Line drive kick. Swanson lets it bounce. Fielded by the freshman Taquan Mizell. Here's Smoke, and he's tackled at the 30-yard line. There's a sense of anticipation Every time he touches the ball, even if he just does the pedestrian.
Yeah, you can literally hear people in the stands recognize when Mizell gets the football. But what he has to learn, especially on a kickoff, initially, you want to get downhill. You want to keep the guys coming down and kick coverage in their lanes, and then you make a move from there. That time he went sideline to sideline a little bit too quickly.
Virginia's last 3 offensive drives have resulted in 3 and outs out of the I formation on first down. Running play right up the middle, and a gain of 4 yards for Mizell, 2nd and 6.
Now we see just the typical I formation with Billy Scroback's the traditional fullback, number 3, and then Smoke is behind him. But that's one thing you can do with the young running back, is just say, I'm going to give you the ball. This is your point of attack. I want you to hit it with instinct, and that's what Mizell did right there.
Scroback's out here on 2nd down. They bring in Swanson, the tight end. Mizell looking for some room, and he's to the 39-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and short.
You can see that Steve Fairchild trying to get number 4 involved, and now he comes off the field in this 3rd down situation, and Parks goes in. But it's about milking the talent by giving number 4 touches. Simple touches, but get him the football.
On 3rd down, that's hauled in on the far sideline by Tim Smith. He picks up 6 and a Virginia first down.
T. Smith had 2 drops early, and with the ball being slick, there's some deliberate throw and catch looking into your hands, but you can see the soft coverage by Roberts and Daniel right there. Because of the slick surface, defensive backs will give a little bit more cushion.
Again out of the eye. Here's Mizell. Changes directions, and he picks up 2. 2nd and 8. Mizell from Bayside High. No, Mr. Belding was not the principal. It's Virginia Beach. True freshman. And Mike London has really done a good job of keeping those Virginia Beach, Hampton Roads, Norfolk guys in-state and in-house. He has really made some great inroads in recruiting. In fact, he has 2 of the top 10 players, according to ESPN, committed to UVA for next season, both from the state of Virginia. Play action. Here's McGee. Breaks a tackle. And Jake McGee is about 3 yards shy of the first down. We've reached the end of 3 quarters here at Scott Stadium. Virginia 12, BYU 7. Big 3rd down coming up for UVA when we come back. This was the last score for the Wahoos. BYU fell on it, but in their own end zone. 2 points, Virginia. Start of the 4th quarter here in Charlottesville on 3rd and 3. Sorensen turns back Watford for a big loss, and Virginia is going to have to punt it away.
On 3rd and 3, Virginia condensed the formation. Had big bodies on that left side and tried to get outside, but Daniel Sorensen would have none of it. Bronco Mendenhall couldn't say enough good things about Daniel Sorensen, his cat/strong safety.
11th punt of the game coming up for Vozelenek. High snap. He's been a busy bee today. False left from his own 16. Tackled immediately. Again, strong special teams play by Virginia. Adam Hine trying to get the BYU ground game going. Instead, he's grounded after a pickup of the yard.
We know to a large extent your quarterback is really only as good as the guys around you, particularly those guys up front. And those guys up front are getting worn out by Virginia right now.
Play action. Hill, and that's his first completion of the 2nd half. He finds one of the captains, Skylar Ridley.
First time we've heard from Skylar Ridley, and they had him bracketed with Nicholson inside or outside and Harrison inside.
Hill on the quarterback keeper. Lowers his shoulder, and he's up past the 35-yard line. A 14-yard pickup for Taysom Hill.
Daquan Romeo, number 13, the linebacker, got out of position that time, and that's the green grass in the room you see for Taysom Hill on that quarterback zone read.
Again, the pressure from Virginia. Hill had time that time, and he finds Ridley for a BYU first down.
John Tenuta is going to turn up the heat. Not only when he has a favorable down and distance, but when an offensive driving, getting closer to the plus territory, you got to get after the ball.
Over the middle, and that's complete again to Thompson. 2 catches on this drive. Had no catches in his career coming into the game.
Same exact route. Play action quick in the backfield. Hit Thompson on the quick slant.
Hill on second and short, and that one bounces in front of Thompson. This is the most in rhythm we've seen BYU in the second half on offense.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And that was somewhat of a throwaway down. If you can hit a play, so be it. But now you're in third and short anyway. That massive offensive line for BYU has to bow up right now on that defensive front for Virginia. Going diamond in the backfield right here with 3 running backs.
They got it to the right one. Williams with a first down.
That diamond formation is just a way to get more bodies, excuse me, that can lead for that ball carrier. Good job of finding some softness right there.
Same formation. Similar play. Williams finds his seam in the defense, and he picks up 9 before being tackled by Harris.
Much better patience by Williams on the last couple of runs. You have to press the line of scrimmage and find the softness. Don't bail out too quickly.
Play action. Hill going for Oppo. Oppo turned around, and now a flag at the end of the play. Draquan Hosky on the coverage. Oppo might have gotten bailed out on that one. He was turned around.
You're exactly right. That was the word I was going to use. Oppo had no idea.
Defense, number 22. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Hosky had very good coverage. Oppo had no idea where that ball was going, but right there, the defensive back simply, when you make contact, turn and locate the football, and that flag stays in the pocket of the official.
Hosky may have aided the turnaround. First down after the penalty. Hill for the end zone. Incomplete, intended for Mitch Matthews. Matthews blanketed by Nicholson.
And Nish, you and I have talked about this in the past. How to spread teams get more effective in the red zone. You have to have a run presence, and that's why you see the diamond formation in the backfield once again.
Here's Jamal Williams. Just needs a little bit of space. Williams lost the football. And they're going to say he was down. He was down before he fumbled.
It's certainly a reviewable play, and it can be challenged.
On the field is that the running back was down by contact, short of the goal line. First down.
He's down.
Yeah, that's a good call. It comes out after he contacts the ground, and the field judge was right on it, running from this far side and pointing to the ground immediately.
Williams over the century mark in rushing yardage, 106. Taysom Hill's going to keep it. Reaches for the end zone. Touchdown BYU. The Cougars take the lead.
Very nice job on the line of scrimmage by BYU, not letting any leakage in early, and it gave Taysom Hill the softness that he needed, and Williams was trying to get up there and block for him. But at the end, it's the extension over the end zone line that worked for Taysom Hill. I think we're going to see that diamond formation again, but remember, Taysom Hill getting him to the perimeter with a run-pass option is not a bad idea either. Usually you roll into your 3 receivers.
Hill rolls to his right. Flushed out of the pocket, chased by Harold. Pressure from the other side, and he's just got to get rid of it. The conversion fails, but BYU takes the lead. Jamal Williams, strong run. And then Taysom Hill, the quarterback, caps the drive, a 92-play drive. Cougars on top. Kelly Stauffer and Ashraf, Virginia receiving the kick. Here's Khalid Shepard. Gets across the 20-yard line, and he lost the football. BYU recovers, so special teams, which got Virginia back into the game, lets them down with 6:17 to go in regulation.
It's a fumble recovered by BYU. First down.
And Shepard really wasn't even in heavy traffic. It was just one right hand. Very poor ball security by Shepard on that play, but you're exactly right. Special teams have kept Virginia in this game and actually had them in control of this game, and then they turn around and give it back right on that kickoff return, and Mike London just is beside himself. Not a heavy hit, just poor ball security by a veteran.
From the 27, this is Williams, breaks the tackle and then drags Harris with him inside the 20 to the 17-yard line, an 11-yard pickup. 116 yards rushing for Jamal Williams, who as a true freshman last year set a BYU team record with 775 rushing yards. Low snap, and Williams just has to dive on it, so that hurts for BYU, a loss of 5.
And we saw that actually led to the touchdown that Virginia had before. The high snap, this time it was overcompensated by Aledo, and it goes on the ground.
On 2nd and long, Lasike, ankle tackle that time by Harold, and it brings up 3rd and 10.
Number 79, Vaitai, who's really the backup at either guard, is in there at left guard now, and had a really nice block on that play, and that's where the softness was in the end.
Hill's going to throw it. Incomplete in the direction of Oppo. Good coverage by Hosky, and now 4th down coming up for BYU. Justin Sorensen is the place kicker for his career. Only 22 of 40 on field goals. He's looking at a 35-yard attempt.
He was 6 out of 12 last year, with 35 was his long.
The kick is good, and Sorensen gives BYU a 4-point lead with 5:02 to go in regulation. Virginia coughs it up on the kick return, gives it right back to BYU. The Cougars capitalize with 3, and we've got a 4-point game in Charlottesville. Virginia freshman Taquan Mizell in the Army All-American game at a 72-yard kick return to set up the game-winning score. He can birth a legend right here.
He absolutely can. I don't know that Justin Sorensen wants to kick it to him. He set up on the hash away from him and kicked it to Shepard the time before.
Here is Mizell from his own 1. And smoke stuffed out shy of the 25-yard line. On 1st down, David Watford's pass is tipped and nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Spencer Hadley, can't believe he didn't come up with it. Kyle Van Noy was the one who deflected it.
Watford was trying to get the ball over the middle to Jake McGee, but you saw it. Van Ooy was standing right in the way and got his right mid on it, and that could have been a disaster for Virginia right there. I think you have to go down to the bottom of the screen once again to Darius Jennings and use that matchup on Daniel.
Watford instead goes underneath. And that's McGee, the tight end. He only gets a yard. 3rd and 9, and it seems Virginia all game has been in a lot of these 3rd and 7s, 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 9s.
I talked about going to Jennings right now, but they're really double teaming him. They have Daniel over the top, and then linebacker Fua was running with him underneath.
Safety blitz. BYU bringing a lot of heat, and Watford throws it out of bounds. 4th down. Great hold by the Cougar defense.
Bronco Mendenhall funnels him down to 3rd down, and Watford gets flushed out, and all of his receivers are back inside. It was actually a very good decision to throw it away. Go see what your defense can do right here and get that ball back for you.
Falslev, fair catch at the 30, 47-yard punt, no return. You get the feeling if Virginia's going to have a chance, it's got to come here on defense or special teams.
Absolutely. Defense take the ball away, but at least get the ball back with your offense having time to do something. Expect this ball to be on the ground a fair share right here.
Hine on 1st down. Finds a little bit of space, pushes the pile forward for 2. 2nd down and 8. And does BYU now slow it down with the ball and 4 minutes to go?
I don't know that they slow it down as much, but they'll keep the clock running by keeping it on the ground. And that time, Virginia was a little laxed outside on checking Taysom Hill out to the edge. Look for him to keep the ball sooner than later. You're right, though. They are staying not in the huddle necessarily, but they're definitely not hurrying to the line of scrimmage.
Looks more like your standard stall.
Take the air out of the ball, right?
BYU has run 80 plays in this game. They wanted to get to that 85-90 range. Here's Williams, stood up by Dean at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down.
David Dean has been very solid inside. He's kind of that blue-collar type guy that Tenuta is going to rely on more and more from that defensive tackle position. You just simply don't move him very far. You expect Tenuta to bring a whole boatload of pressure right here, but if you do, don't forget that someone has to tackle the quarterback if he keeps the football. They've liked the corner blitz. Down here by Kennedy right off the slot right here. But there's going to be pressure from somewhere. BYU's going to let the clock run down again and then use your timeout, which is what I thought they were doing before. It seemed like they're going to snap the ball.
They'll throw. Hill. And it's picked off. There's the interception. Anthony Harris laterals it. How about the heady play by Harris? And it's Coley, the junior linebacker.
This is actually a very well thrown ball. Jamal Williams out of the backfield, right through his hands. Remember, we're talking about weather. We're talking about a slick ball. The ball got there. You're throwing to a running back, not a receiver. Very good play by Anthony Harris. Heads up play to lateral back to Coley on that play.
1st down after the turnover. Here's Parks. He has some room. And Kevin Parks gives the Wahoos the lead. penalty is good. 3-point lead for Virginia, but remember, BYU had a scoring drive in this half where they went 92 plays in 2 minutes, 92 yards in 2 minutes and 17 seconds, 11 plays. 2:36 is an eternity with 2 timeouts.
Virginia has just hung around, and Taysom Hill puts this ball on Jamal Williams, but I think it was a little bit high outside the body frame to a running back. Sometimes causes issues, but Anthony Harris, and then right here, very well blocked up front. Good vision by the veteran running back, cuts it back over the right side and finds the end zone. It's not just getting the ball and the turnover. You have to pay it off, and Parks did on that play.
The first Virginia touchdown came after an Anthony Harris block punt. The second after a Harris interception. BYU's going to run it out. Hine. He's got a little bit of room. There's a flag back at the 13-yard line. And Hine out of bounds into Virginia territory, but there is a penalty marker on the field. This could be coming back.
During the return, holding receiving team number 9. Helping us into the goal. First down.
It was actually number 9, Daniel Sorensen, but it was actually after the action had already gone past him, right there in the middle of the screen. You can see the hold right there. We stopped it. Clear hold. And I was looking at actually Fua that was holding in a similar manner, but didn't really have anything to do with the play. But that was very blatant by a veteran, Daniel Sorensen, on that play.
So with the penalty, BYU now starts at its own 8-yard line. Remember, they had a touchdown drive of 11 plays, 92 yards in 2:17. 2:26 to go. On the ground here on first down. This is Williams looking for a little bit of redemption. He gets to the 30-yard line. It was the ball that went out of his hands that led to the pick. Pressure from the outside. Hill lost the football. Escapes the pursuit. He's got positive yards and finally run out of bounds by Romero.
Center Terrence Leto is having issues with the ball, I believe, because that's about the third poor snap. The last 2 have been low, which is typically a sign he's not getting a very good grip on the ball.
On the ground, here's Williams, met at the 40-yard line. He picks up 4. It's a BYU first down.
Terrence Leto, I just think, is having issues. I think the ball is getting wet. They try to exchange him as much as they can, but looking around, rolling around in that suit.
Hill's pass, batted down by the Urbanator, Brent Urban, number 99.
We haven't heard much of him, but 6'7", almost 300 pounds, and it's hard to throw around that body type.
John Tenuta calls Urban his best defensive lineman. Senior from Ontario, Canada. Hill steps up. Chased by Brim, and he'll just chuck it out of bounds. 3rd and 10.
Good decision by Taysom Hill on that play. Brim was checking him from that linebacker position.
The ball may be on the line of scrimmage. 3rd down.
And what the official is explaining, once you're outside the tackle box, you can throw the ball away as long as it passes the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd and 10, that's hauled in by Thompson, and now it's incomplete. He could not hold on to the football. 4th down for BYU.
It wasn't great ball placement, but Thompson just couldn't quite haul it in.
Fourth and 10. Here's the pressure. Hill throws it incomplete. way over the head of false left, and Virginia takes over on downs with a $1:28 left in regulation.
John Tenuta's pressure defense showed up right there. Two linebackers, Coley and Romero, met at the quarterback. Watch the pressure off the edge and right up the gut. Very good move that time by Romero off the edge. Kind of the swim move around the running back. Very timely pressure, and that's all about John Tenuta's defense.
Don't forget, BYU last year, third-ranked defense in the FBS. Kyle Van Noy is a guy who can force fumbles, pick off passes, make plays. The Cougars have 2 timeouts. On the ground to Parks. Nothing there. How about that game for Anthony Harris?
Oh, wow. That's kind of a Kyle Van Noy stat line right there. That's a huge game.
You think he likes this new defense?
I think he does. Hey, the ball is ours. Go get it. What's wrong with that? And Anthony Harris epitomizes that.
Not over yet. 2nd and 11. BYU still has another timeout.
1, 2. Thank you.
BYU's defense has played pretty well this entire game. Virginia 78 second half yards. They're in a position to win a game.
On the ground, it's Parks right up the middle inside the 40 for a pickup of 3. 3rd down. And BYU uses its final timeout with 1:16 to go.
Depending on how much time is on the clock, you could potentially even think about running a play on 4th down, but you're probably not going to get enough off the clock on this 3rd down play.
David Watford, the Virginia quarterback, making his first career start. He's waited 2 years for this moment. 1:16 away from a victory. Another run on 3rd down, and Parks met after he gained a yard, maybe 2. 4th down coming up. And Virginia's probably going to let the clock run down here and then punt it away. So BYU's going to get the ball back with about 27 seconds or so, depending on what happens with the punt.
5 seconds to play. He rolls right. Virginia drops back and prevent defense. He's going for the Hail Mary. Lobs it down the near sideline. Jump ball. That ball is caught, but the time has elapsed off the clock. Virginia's going to steal one from the jaws of defeat. The Who's pick up a victory in Week 1 over the visiting Cougars of BYU.
And can you just sum up, I guess, kind of the character of your team to go through not only coming back from down late, but also putting up with the rain delay and what happened to turn into about a 4 or 5 hour game?
Yeah, that was amazing right there. I'm just so proud of this team. I wish I could tell them. But it was a long game. That's a very good football team. And to have a win like that, our first game, our opening game, against a well-coached team is a tremendous boost for this team, and we're looking forward to the next game. We can be happy now, but we can't be satisfied.